Hi, Sandra here from Create in Spain, and I am really excited today to bring you two developments in my stamp making process that I think really do complete the series. I doubt very much whether there is anything else I can add to this. I really do. The first thing is I have modified my plates very slightly. You'll have seen in previous videos that I just had little plastic bumpers going around the edges of this. And I did find that when I was picking up both sets and putting it into the UV lamp there, that sometimes they slid apart. Now, I had tried magnetic strips before, but didn't have quite the right setup. And so I decided to look into it again today and amend things. And what I ended up doing was getting my magnetic strip, and this is stuff that you can just literally cut with scissors, but I put a very, very, very thin layer of craft foam underneath. It's only something like 1 millimeter thick. It's really, really thin stuff. And I attached it, oddly enough, with this, which is one of the adhesive rollers. This is a permanent adhesive roller. And so this was a really, really quick job to do. So there's a little layer of foam under that, then followed with the magnetic strip. This is just a little bit of tape to show me which side to match up. And again, the same on this edge here. It's got the little bit of foam underneath and the magnetic strip. For the top piece, I didn't put the foam underneath because if I did, the gap between the two plates would be too large. So I've now got exactly the right gap. And then when I put one on top of the other and pick them up, they don't move around as much. And there is a little bit of pressure between the two plates, but not very much. But it maintains a nice flat surface. I put this tape across the front to match up with that one because being magnetic, if you put it around the wrong way, it goes a bit skewed. So I know that that piece of tape goes on the edge that's got that bit on. So nothing very different really, but it does help a little bit. Right, the next development is absolutely gobsmackingly simple, but makes so much difference. I just cannot believe that this has actually happened at long last. I have been able to make a negative printed on my printer, and it was printed on, would you believe, tracing paper. Yeah, this stuff. Cheap, 10 sheets of this cost me, 90 cents. Now what I did was I used some spray adhesive, took a piece of printer paper and just cut a piece of the tracing paper and put it onto my printer paper. And that way I can put it through my printer very easily. And also I don't have to put a full sheet of tracing paper through. I've not tried putting it through without the carrier sheet. Quite likely it would take it, but it would mean that I was in a position where I really needed to do a whole page of designs, which I don't necessarily want to do. Whereas if I put a little piece on here, I can position my drawing wherever I want it to be printed and make sure it's in the right place. Now the printer settings on this paper, on tracing paper, and I am talking tracing paper, I'm not talking baking paper or tissue paper, I mean tracing paper. There are differences. The printer settings that I used, I did a best quality print, and with my printer I can actually have variables such as the contrast, which I put up to maximum, and the darkness, which I put up to maximum. And I just printed it the once. And when it came out, I looked at it and I thought, well, will it work? Will it not? I don't know. I could still see through the thing. And this is it. This one is the one that I've used today. And this is just sticky back plastic, the stuff that you cover books with. Yeah. So open this up on here goes my printed image. On top of that goes the sticky back plastic, so I put it down like so, put my edging round for my dam, put the liquid in, and then it's a piece of the plastic that I've been using all the time over the top of that. Now the big difference is that using this method, I found that it doesn't take as long as my method with my vinyl cuts, or indeed with the cuts that I do with black card. This one, this design here, took 45 seconds on both sides. So 45 seconds on this side, turn it over, 45 seconds on that one, which is quite unusual in itself. Usually one developing time is longer than the other. And the result is this. Now I don't know if you can see how well that has come out, but to my eye it looks absolutely perfect. Okay, I've got a tiny little bubble in there which isn't going to make any difference, I wouldn't imagine. But that's simply my failing to get a bubble out of the plastic. But it looks absolutely perfect. It's got a good base on it. And this is the one that I've done. I have not tried it yet, so I'm just going to chop off the edges. I also, when I finished with it, I put it underwater back in my UV lamp for 6 minutes. So I'm going to ink it up now and try it and see what results we get. My Mentor ink and my stamp, but that looks pretty good, I think. And stamp the image. That is not bad at all. I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, what have we got? These larger bars here had very, very, very fine lines on them. So unless you are very, very low on ink, you'll probably find that the ink does actually fill up the holes, but maybe if I press it very lightly, a bit too lightly there. Okay, let's go again. Yeah, okay, needs a longer press, but you get the idea. This is pretty good, I think. As stamping goes, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, considering that I didn't have to buy any expensive papers or anything like that to do it, and neither did I have to do any vinyl cutting and weeding.